Hey friends and creators, welcome back to Creator Side Income. I'm your host, Tyler, or Mr. C, and I'm excited for this. This is going to be an income report for the month of October, but it's really going to be a deep dive into the current state of Amazon Influencer, because all I'm hearing from everyone right now is earnings are at their all-time worst, where November is usually the all-time high, and people are wondering what's going on. Fortunately, I've been in this program for a long time, so I've done a deep dive with my own data and I've looked at other data. And so I have some analysis to share with you. And I think that this is going to be really significant for both new creators on the Amazon Influencer program, as well as seasoned people more like myself. As far as my experience with the program, I joined just over 2 years ago. In the last 2 years, I've earned over $120,000 with product reviews, and the vast majority of that has been on the Amazon Influencer program. But we're going to talk about how I'm moving away from the Amazon Influencer program, at least in part, and talking about how to diversify your product review earnings, what platforms to use, some things to try out, as well as my thoughts on what is going on right now and why are we seeing this big drop. So we're going to dig into this. I have some slides prepared, and I'm doing this a little bit different this time just because I really normally I have like this spreadsheet that I get on and I go through the whole thing and it's a ton of data. This time I kind of just have done all that analysis on my own, and I'm going to share with you the results. And so if you want to screenshot and look at the data, you can, but I have this earnings report that I make internally for myself each month, and these are the findings from the month. And so this is where I'm going to focus on the earnings report for this time. All right, so quick summary of my month on Amazon Influencer. This is October 2024, and again, this is now 2 years into the program. My earnings were $3,300 with OnSite, 200 offsite, 65 in foreign. My big surprise this month was creator connections, and then with $1,000, 400 on YouTube and about 800 on sponsored. So you see that I've got a bunch of different income sources here. In total, that means I've earned almost $6,000 in the month of October. $188 a day. I've mentioned this before, but as a school teacher, that is a significant chunk of change for me. It is more than I make as a school teacher, at least with my base salary. And so product reviews, despite where we're at right now, and I know that they're kind of at an all-time low, it's still working for me for some of the reasons that I'm going to explain throughout this video. You'll note that my earnings were actually up from September, and they're actually up from October last year, although we're a few days into November now, and it's not looking like I'm going to match my November from last year. So let's break this down into what's happening. Looking at my spreadsheet, I can note that my earnings on the from on-site commissions have dropped for 5 months in a row, consistently going down. I'm earning less now with 2,200 videos. I'm still publishing between 50 and 100 a month, but I'm earning less with that now than in April of last year when I only had 400 videos. And so that kind of shows how far the program has fallen as far as earnings per video. A similar metric here is clicks per video, and we see that in January of 2023, that was my all-time high at 63 clicks per video. Now I'm at about 10 clicks per video, and so if we extend that out and look at our earnings per video, when it used to be about $10 per video, now it's about $1.50. And what that means is I've heard a lot of people say, you know, I just had my worst month ever. I used to make so much, and I make this much. You're in line with me if you used to make, let's say, $100 a day, or let's say even $100 a month, and now that $100 a day is down to $15. So 15% of your best month ever. Now, best month is different from normal month. But if you used to make $100 a day and now you're making $30 to $40 a day, that's about where I'm at right now. And that sounds pretty consistent with what I've heard from other people on Facebook, Reddit, and then people who have DM'd me personally. It seems like we're all around the same place. Now, this is interesting because I like to project out and I set goals. And my goal for this year was to make $65,000 with product reviews, and I'm going to. But I thought most of that would come through the on-site commissions. That's not the case. So if I was making the same amount now that I was making at my all-time high, I would have made $21,000 last month, and I'd be making between $50,000 and $60,000 for the rest of the year. That is not going to happen. I'm hoping I can still make $10,000 to $15,000 this year, which again is a lot of money. And so I'm grateful. I'm still in the program. I'm not jumping ship right now. I am pivoting, but I'm not jumping ship because an extra $10,000 even for a whole year would be amazing, let alone for the last 2 months of the year. So I think things are good. Now, this is where we need to have a serious talk. I keep track of my earnings per click. And my earnings per click right now is the exact same as it has been throughout the whole program. The reason that is significant is it means that a lot of people are saying, well, it's not that Amazon is changing things, it's just that the economy is really bad, we're in the middle of an election, people aren't shopping as much. That is not true. According to the data, people are shopping just as much as they've ever shopped. We're still in Q4, people are preparing for Christmas, and the clicks are the same, or the earnings per click are the same. The problem is that we're not getting clicks because people aren't watching our videos, and they're not watching our videos because of a number of reasons that I'm going to get into. Okay? All right. So let's look at where OnSite is in relation to other things. And again, this is part of my earnings report, but I think it sets the stage for some of the analysis that I'm going to share with you. So January of 2023, so this was almost 2 years ago, my OnSite commissions were about 85% of my earnings with product reviews, and the rest was offsite and a little bit of sponsored videos. So people were paying me to review videos back then. I wasn't doing a lot, but I was doing some. Fast forward today, now OnSite is about 50% of my earnings. So you see that I've clearly moved in other directions. And here are the directions that I moved in. Creator Connections was my biggest thing recently, 17.7%. And let me just open all these up and then we'll talk about them. Sponsored reviews were about 14%. YouTube is 10.5%, and then foreign storefronts. Let's look at Creator Connections first. So Creator Connections is a relatively new program where you can go in if you're already an Amazon influencer, you're already in this program, and you can go into the Creator Connections tab in your dashboard and look at all the things that are available for a higher commission. Now, the problem is that most of these things aren't bestsellers on Amazon. And so what I did several months ago was I was exploring Creator Connections, and I decided just to accept all the campaigns for videos I'd already reviewed anyways. And I did that, and simply by saying accept, even if you don't link up a video, you start getting a bigger commission on those things. Now, you can link up your offsite links, so if you have a YouTube video that points to that product or a TikTok video that points to that product, you can link those up. But just by accepting that campaign, you're going to start making an increased commission. So anytime you sell a product, instead of getting 1 or 2%, you could make 5%, 10%, in some cases 20%. And so I did that for all my products, and it did result in an extra $100 to $300 a month over the last 6 months. So it's been really good for me just to go through, look at kind of their catalog and do that. The problem is that I've reviewed 2,200 things, and Creator Connections has thousands of things. So to sort through that takes some time, and I didn't feel like that was a good use of my time, and certainly for $100 a month, it would not be a good use of my time. However, this last month I made $1,000. How did I do it? One product. And so again, I think for most people, Creator Connections is not going to make a big difference. The reason the one product has made a difference for me is I found a product, and I reached out to the company. And this is a cool thing you can do on Creator Connections is you can message the company and ask them if they will send you a product for free. Now, I've had a number of companies that have done that, and I've reviewed their products, and I've gotten an increased commission as those products sell. Now, again, for most of those products, it hasn't moved the needle for me. However, for the one product, I reached out to the company and never heard back. But it was a product I really, really wanted. I saw that it was a bestseller and it had a few videos, influencer videos, but not a lot. And I thought I can rank for this. It was a higher ticket item. And so I went ahead and purchased the product as a Christmas gift for my children. So I got that product. I made one video, and it started selling really, really well. And because it was a higher ticket item and I get a 10% commission, anytime one sells, I make like $400, or not 400, it's a $400 product, I make like 40 bucks. And so that commission, I've sold like 20 or 30 of those now, and that has added up. It's not something I was gifted for free. It's not something I was paid to review. It was something I found in Creator Connections, and because I wanted it, I purchased it. I made a video, and so that can work for you. I wouldn't count on it, but it can work for you. Looking at my other income from product reviews right now, sponsored reviews have gone up, and I'm happy to say that I've been pretty consistent doing about 15 sponsored videos every month. So I do 3 to 5 every week, and my commission on those have continued, my upfront commission, so what I'm getting paid from the companies, and I have another video coming out soon about this, but I was making on average like $20 a video, then it raised to 25 and to 30. Now I'm getting really close to $40 per review video for my sponsored videos. And some are as much as $75 or $100. Occasionally I'll accept videos for about $30, but that's my floor now, is $30. So that has, I haven't done a lot more sponsored videos, but I am increasing my rates, and that has resulted in more income. Now, YouTube is the thing I'm most excited about because it's the most consistent. Having an extra 2,400 videos on YouTube. Some of them are going to be evergreen. I don't have any viral videos, but I consistently have like 3,000 views a day, which results in about $15 of income a day for ads. And so making about $400 a month right now. And I feel like if I just keep working hard like I have over the last 2 years, that's something that will consistently go higher and higher. And so I really love that. I'd really love to monetize this YouTube channel, but I only have not even 500 subscribers yet. If you're getting value from these videos, I hope you'll subscribe. That will help me out. Share it with people. I think I'm providing some real value here, but this is just growing really, really slowly. At some point, I hope to monetize this channel and make, again, some consistent earnings there. I have a number of other channels that I'm working on monetizing as well. And then finally, foreign storefronts. I did upload some videos this last month just because I was frustrated with the low earnings on OnSite, and so I went ahead and took some old videos and put them up. It hasn't made much of a difference yet, but I am making a few dollars on foreign storefronts. Okay, so that's what I earned. Why does this matter to you? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Why is OnSite decreasing so rapidly? Here are some of my ideas, and this is backed with my own data and conversations I've had with others. We know that Amazon is continuing to experiment. They're messing around with the carousels. Sometimes there'll be 20 in the upper, and you have to open more, so you can get buried. So even if you're in the upper carousel, there's no guarantee anyone's seeing your video because it's buried, and consumers aren't used to this version of Amazon, and so our clicks are going down because even though we might technically be on a lot of products, no one's seeing our videos. And that typically when Amazon makes changes to the carousels, historically, they would try it out for a week or two to see if it was working, and then they'd revert back to what had been in the past. That's not the case anymore. So they've been messing around with this upper carousel and trying like a lot of videos for several months now, and it looks like this is kind of where they're at now. And so that means we're going to get a lot less clicks on our videos. Uh, we've also seen that sometimes the bottom carousel has been removed altogether, and of course that will result in fewer clicks as well. I also think, and this isn't verified, but I made a video a while about the possibility of being throttled. I do feel like once you hit so many clicks in a day, they just take your videos off. Now, I don't know for sure that that's happening, but it sure feels like it because, you know, it doesn't matter how many videos I upload in a month, it seems like I'm staying consistent. And if you look at my earnings for the whole year, it's a straight line, even though I've added 1,000 videos this year. And so that's pretty discouraging, but I feel like they're putting kind of a ceiling on how much your videos can be viewed. If that was true, and I had 100% surety that that was true, I would delete all my low performing videos and only put up high ticket items, because if you're going to get views, you might as well get it on the things that sell for a higher amount. All right. This one's a big one. It is saturated. The program is saturated. Like, there are a lot of people in. Amazon let thousands and thousands of people in over the summer. We have more competition than we've ever had, which also means you're going to have a harder time ranking, getting your product review videos on the upper carousel or on the bottom carousel, because there's a lot more people making videos. People are also getting more savvy about what kind of videos to do reviews for, and so for the better selling products, there's more competition. So that's going to result in decreased clicks on your videos. And this is the thing that I hate. I think Amazon is trying to clean this up, but the reality is there are a lot of spam accounts out there. There are a lot of people doing dishonest things to get videos up on different product links. So they'll review something that's not the product. For example, maybe they're going to review a computer, and they'll put the same computer review on 1,000 different product links. So they'll go to each product link individually, tag their video about a computer, and it's just talking about computers in general, not that specific computer. We're seeing this across the platform, that things like that are happening. We're also seeing, as I mentioned here in my bullet point, that there are influencers who used to make one good video, and now they're making 7 bad videos that are each like 15 seconds long, saying, here's one feature. And then another video, here's another feature. So that's filling up the carousel with those crappy videos. Now, we could all do that, and I've certainly been tempted. I am thinking right now the better play is don't make crappy videos, but Amazon clearly wants vertical videos. So I would feel good about taking my old videos that were horizontal, filming a new version of it as a vertical video, still trying to have a lot of value in those videos, and putting up a second or a third video. But this whole 8 or 9 videos for a product, I feel like that you don't have integrity if you're doing that. Like, I don't feel good about that. And that was my last thing. Amazon is competing with TikTok and YouTube Shorts now. Shorts now can be up to 3 minutes. TikToks can be as long as they want. Amazon with vertical, I think you can go as long as you want on those as well. And so I think the goal here is to create good vertical videos. The big difference between vertical and horizontal is in vertical videos, you're doing quicker transitions, more jump cuts, showing different angles, things like that. Things that seem to do really well on Shorts and on TikTok are also doing well on Inspire, which for most of us is a completely different style of video than our horizontal, like customer review style videos where we just hold a product, talk about it. Those don't seem to work very well as vertical videos. So if you want to do better, you're going to have to change your style, at least for those vertical videos. So what are my recommendations then? Here are my goals for this month. I think this is the way moving forward. Take this with a grain of salt. I don't know if this will work, but based on my analysis, this is what I'm going to try. So I do want to find another Creator Connection home run, a video or a product that I want anyways, that is a bestseller already, that's selling well, and that doesn't have a lot of videos created about it. I use the IPX Chrome extension to help find those. I don't pay for any other services, so when it comes to research, it's mostly, I have a pretty good feel for it at this point. So I know some of you use a lot of other tools. I don't. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to try to improve my quality. As I mentioned, I'm going to switch up some things for my vertical videos. I am going to go back through, and I think that's my next point, so I'll put that up too. Nope, never mind. We'll get to that in a minute. But I am trying to make videos now instead of thinking what worked best on Amazon a year ago. I'm thinking what works best on YouTube right now. So I'm thinking about my offsite commissions, redirecting people to Amazon, things that I can put on other platforms to grow those platforms. And honestly, that just requires better reviews where you really talk about the things that will help consumers, doing more tutorials and step-by-step instructions, more installation type reviews, and then with the vertical videos, making sure you do that in more in the TikTok style. So I'm going to try to do that this month. I guess this was what I was thinking. I'm going to stop. Before, my strategy has always been work harder than everyone else and you'll make more than everyone else. And for the most part, that's been true for me. However, just working hard doesn't work anymore on Amazon. And so if a video isn't getting sales, if a product rather isn't getting sales right now, it's not worth doing a review on. If it's not making at least 50 sales in the last month, it's not worth your time to make a review. At least that's my opinion. Except it's really hard for me to not make a video because for the last 2 years, anytime I find something that's on Amazon, I make a video about it. And so it's going to be hard to break that habit, but that's one of my goals for the rest of this year is focus on the things that are making sales and just make better videos for those products. So if I've already created a video for that, create a vertical video that's great, or make a better high quality horizontal video for that product and try to boost my earnings that way. Moving forward, I'm just going to try to not do the low end things like things in my pantry, things in my medicine cabinet. I've done a lot of those videos in the past. I'm reviewing different breakfast cereals and things like that every week, and I'm going to stop doing those kind of reviews. And then finally, and this you might not have control over, is continue to accept sponsored posts. That has been going really, really well for me. So it's tempting to get rid of sponsored posts because it does take time. You have to communicate with sellers. It's somewhat frustrating. I like being a solo entrepreneur where I'm not relying on other people, but having sponsored posts has really made a difference for these last few months. And this last point was what I was talking about earlier. Go back and shoot some of my videos for my bestsellers. All right, so that is my presentation for this month. Again, kind of a different format as far as my report for the month. I'm curious to hear how you like or don't like this kind of format rather than just talking over my spreadsheet the whole time. I know some of you really love those spreadsheets, and I'm happy to return to that if that's a better format. But I feel like the deeper analysis and just talking about, based on my history, I have done quite well on Amazon Influencer, and even now making over $5,000 a month as a product reviewer, I think that's pretty good. And so I want to share with you what's working because I can recognize a lot of you are willing to do the work. And if you're willing to do the work, I want you to have great results like me. It has been life-changing for me and my family. The biggest reason is because we've taken a lot of that extra earnings and we've put it into investments. And I have some videos coming up shortly that will talk about those kinds of investments and how we're making money long term. People would call that generational money. For us, it's not, because generational for us doesn't make sense. We want to teach our kids how to make their own money so they don't rely on ours. But having money that allows us to retire before we're 50, that's a goal that's in place for us, and so that's what we're chasing. And that's about it. So drop a comment. I'd love to hear how your month went with product reviews. If you want anything else on these reports, or if I didn't answer all your questions, let me know in the comments. And again, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I would appreciate that. Thanks. Have a great week. Bye-bye.